very passionately, and we're seeing her again. She's back and she's around here. She'll tell us what she's up to. Na pia tuko na Kanyaraganga Peter ambaye sasa hivi nasikia watu wamemezoeka na UTA kwa juu ya wheelbarrow.
Fine, I'm happy to be here.
I'm good to see you, my brother.
Thank you so much.
Good morning.
Morning to you.
And happy New Year. I've not seen you this year.
Yeah, the earthquake affected me. But now I'm recovering from the aftershocks of the earthquake.
It's a pleasure to see you. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Please like, share, and let us know where you're watching us from. Tazama kutoka wapi asubuhi ya leo. It's the State of the Nation edition, the 1st of February 2022. Tarehe ni wa kwanza mwezi wa pili mwaka 2021. Natumai kwamba uko salama na mwamka uzuri na uko tayari kuungana na sisi kwenye mazungumzo ya leo. Tuambie pia, what is it that you'd want us to speak about this morning, even as we talk about the state of the nation? What is the state of the nation according to you? Wale kwako mambo kunaenda vipi, uchumi kwako kukoje? Alafu pia hali ya kazi, hali ya anga Nairobi pia naona it's a bit cold in Nairobi. It was raining last evening, so it's a bit chilly. But anyway, good to see you. Kama kawaida lazima tuende mbele za Mungu tuombe, alafu tukirudi basi nakuja kuwapa salamu zenu. Amunga, utatuombeko?
Pamoja. Tuombe. Asante sana Mungu wetu kwa asubuhi njema. Asante kwa kutuongoza, kutulinda. Mwaka tumeanza na hasa tumeingia mwezi wa pili. Tunakushukuru. Tunashukuru kwa taifa hili tukufu la Kenya. Tunakushukuru kwa viongozi wetu wote. Tunaombea familia zetu, jamii zetu, kwamba uendelee kutuongoza, uendelee kutupatia baraka zako na utusamee dhambi zetu. Tunaomba haya yote kwa jina la Yesu Kristo mkombozi wetu. Amen.
And we are still recharging. And by the way, we are manufacturing a smaller package of the recharge dower by House of Peptang. We have 300 ml, and we also have the half a liter of recharge dower from the House of Peptang. It's the weather is cold. Mama pia iko hapa. If you want to ensure that you keep yourself healthy. Na pia kama ni mtu ambaye, weekend tukipatana na watu Monday ni wagonjwa zaidi, if you really kama unachukua ile chai ya wazee, you can use this as a mixer, a very healthy mixer, and ensures that during baada ya kazi ya jioni kama asubuhi uko fresh zaidi. Na pia kama unasikia mafua kidogo na recharge, so you can buy any pack of this from your nearest supermarket at 300 ml, and it's also a 500 ml at different prices, affordable. Kimbia pale Quickmart, kimbia Chandrana, kimbia Naivas, anywhere, any supermarket you can find around you. Kisha kama unaweza kupata dawa yako from the House of Peptang, pure lemon, honey and ginger, and healthy. Nasema dawa drink, recharge dawa drink. Inakuja no added sugar, that is 100% natural. Unapatana na dawa na ginger yako kwa njia shwari zaidi. Asante sana. Na pia tunalipa ushuru pale Rexel Roofing. Natuambia kwamba Rexel Roofing gives you an appointment to ensure that your roof is looking as beautiful as it can ever be. When you use quality roofing shingles or stone coated tiles from Rexel Roofing, you enjoy 3% off courtesy of the tackle. Ukienda pale useme kama umetumanwa kutoka hapa kwenye show, unapata 3% off on all roofing materials, pia waterproofing solutions. You're seeing the trend of flat roofs is catching up in the country. Kama unataka kujenga nyumba yako flat roof, hakikisha kwamba una make sure kwamba it doesn't leak. There's no water that leaks into your house by using APP waterproofing membranes, ama unatumia pale waterproofing liquid. Kimbia pale Rexel Roofing and you get the best options on the products that you need. Lakini wacha tuende tuangalie majamaa hapa kidogo. Ambao maamka nimeona kina Wangai au maamka mapema sana. Misoi Olive, good morning. Good morning to you Paul. Nimeona kuna wajamaa ambao comment zao zimeanza kupotea pale juu, lakini wacha nione ambao naweza ona kidogo. Misoi Olive, asante sana. Please let us know where you're watching us from as well. Vicky Kip Jr, Mitacharian Mitch na kuwa anasema good morning to you Koech Isaka, good morning and happy new month. Kendro getting you from the University of Kabianga. This is Kendro. Asante na Steven Theuri. Good ndani. Asante sana. Murkomen Daisy Smith tuned in. Kabon Sara, good morning from Eldoret. Keep quiet, Cheriot, good morning. Good morning to Chela Mary, tuned in. Amos Mbugwa, tuned in from the city of Nottingham, UK. Asante sana watu wa UK. Dixon Mushangi, nasema morning everyone. Good morning to my brother Kilike Alan, my bro. Good morning to you. Gemaliel baba yao. Good morning GB nikiwa Karen. Asante sana to Karen Maindra. Innocent, good morning. Bitok tuned in from Nairobi. Gifted, good morning. Watching from Isiolo. Ala, ulitoka Thika. Ruth Wairimu, good morning. Good morning to Kamau Mudhoni, good morning. Jane Mumbi, good to see you. Munga anasema ataambia watu nini vane. Looking forward. Alisema bwana, yeye na William hawezi kukutana barabara moja. Nikamuuliza Amunga, na mtosi yako akiamua ageuze trailer. Things of art. Selena Gomez, good morning, tuned in from London. Good to see you guys from London. It's a pleasure to have you this morning. Asante sana Selena Gomez all the way from London. Stanley Lagarde live from Nakuru Kongasisa. Asante Munga, let us continue. Let me take this space to mourn one of our tacklers by the name Thomas Arunga from Cardiff, laying him to rest this Thursday in Cardiff. Please pray for the family. Wow. pole sana. Please, Munga luta continue. Please pass our sincere condolences from the tackle to the family of Thomas Arunga. Naambia kwamba pole, acha Mungu ailaze roho yake mahali pema peponi, na pia aweze kuliwaza familia ya Thomas Arunga. Pole sana. I'm really passing my sincere condolences to the family of Thomas Arunga. I'll talk to you later. I'll drop your message in WhatsApp so that we can have a conversation. Converse Mutua tuned in. Asante sana. Naomi Serem, good morning. Tuned in. Asante sana. Naomi Serem, good to see you. Hope you're well. Rob Kipto, good morning team tackle tuned in. Haemba Wandambusi, some morning tacklers tuned in from the great city of Trans Nzoia. Asante sana. Nimeona siasa ya Trans Nzoia pia imechacha zaidi. Kuna ule mungwana alikuwa hapa natembea. Anatembea ametembea kule Trans Nzoia. Bakari Mayaya from Kwale County. Asante Dominic Ruta, good morning tuned in. Wangai Carlos, good morning bro. Good morning to my brother Peter Kodek Amunga mwenyewe sema hiyo dawa ni. Dennis Kiroi tuned in. Edwin Kibut Arap Chumba, good morning tackler tuned in from West Pokot. Farid Faraji tuko ndani. Asante sana Farid. Anasema leo umelala sana. Pole kidogo. Anasema Kilimani tuko ndani. Asante sana tu Kilimani. Vet Cheli Meli, good morning Canada live. Thank you guys from Canada. Please keep sharing. Farid Faraji anasema keep sharing. Please let's keep sharing. Lakoske, good Gijana Bitoka Sada, good morning to you. Just as tomorrow, good morning. You're tuned in from the CBD. Savania Chapa, good morning. What's happening in Nandi County? Aya, mambo ndio haya. Nimeona mambo yako ni mingi ya Munga. So I think you need to recharge. Babu, nimeona umeanza na wewe.
Na recharge.
Amesema things are very relevant for you.
Ndio watu wanaandika
kama ni ukweli. Haya. Na pia kama kuna watu wanauliza unatoa wapi suti bwana? Kama unataka kukaa namna hii, unaenda pale Disco Aware Eldoret Ketia Fourth Building, fourth floor, Ketia Building fourth floor. Tafuta jamaa anaitwa Dandan. Na ukifika pale pia utapata discount ya hadi 10% courtesy of the tackle. That is Dandan Disco Aware. Where pale Eldoret Ketia Building fourth floor. Unaweza kisha kwamba unapata mng'aro safi zaidi. Kama uko na sherehe ambayo unafanya pia unapata pale African Wear kitenge. Ni wakati wa kumachisha kitenge. It's February. It's 14 days to Valentine's. So kama unataka kumachisha kitenge, Wanja. Uko na mtu wa kumachisha naye kitenge?
Sisi unajua siwezi kuwa sure kabla sijajua kama men's conference. Unajua men's conference inakujanga kuanzia hapo February 10th. So lazima nijipange kulingana na hiyo kalenda ya men's conference. Sasa sijui kama iko ama bado haiko.
Sasa hajakuambia tayari kama uko tayari kupandisha kitenge. Kumachisha kitenge hajakuambia. Ama tukutafutie takwa. Amunga najua yake, najua mama yako. Tafadhali peleka madam pale D-Square.
Nitampeleka.
Ashonewe kitenge. Wewe na madam.
Around Christmas time.
Hapana ya Valentine. Wachana maana Christmas bwana. Ya Valentine. Hii ni mwezi ya mapenzi. Hii mwezi ya kumachisha kitenge. Kwa hivyo peleka madam Amunga pale D-Square. Mpimiwe kitenge safi sana.
Kabisa.
Alafu mnaweza mnakaa matching. Mapenzi inakuwa mingi. Hiyo pale D-Square Ketia Building fourth floor after Dandan ataweza kupa discount hadi ya 10% ama 10% off courtesy of the tackle. Good morning to you Amunga.
Good morning sir.
Kuliandaje?
Yes, first of all I want to really express my sincere love for Musalia Mudavadi's move to join up and team up with the Deputy President William Ruto. Actually, I want to start by first of all apologize if I've ever said anything wrong. You know, what people may not know is that William and I come a long way. We were at the university almost the same time. We were members of the Christian Union. I was a member of the Focus, you know, at Kenyatta University Christian Union. He was at the main campus. Mama Rachel and I were in the same class at KU. Same class, kabisa tena, same CU. So we come a long way. Whatever sometimes we speak here is politics. And politics is politics. There are no permanent enemies in politics. When an earthquake occurs like the one that occurred on was it 23rd of February of January, sorry, where at Bomas of Kenya the political landscape of this country shook. People like me are bound to be shaken, and our positions, which may have been looked like they was cast in stone, had to change. The truth of the matter is that when you look at the policies of Musalia Mudavadi, the policies of William Ruto, you see a lot of similarities. You start noticing that these people are cut from the same cloth, same material. These are people who have sacrificed their ambitions many times for the sake of the people who today we hear they are in the front race row. Musalia Mudavadi and William Ruto sacrificed for Uhuru Kenyatta after Moi left in 2003. The two of them were actually running mates. They were in the same ticket. And we can, if we all remember, they all supported Uhuru Kenyatta. Come 2007 again, we saw again William Ruto and Musalia Mudavadi supporting Raila Odinga. Okay. They gave up their ambitions to support Raila Odinga. So these are men who have sacrificed their ambitions to support other men. Seeing them come together was one of the biggest blessings that we have ever watched. One big thing that we had never imagined. It was an earthquake. And as people of who are of independent mind like me, people who know what Kenya needs, people who believe that Azimio has been overtaken and taken over hijacked by people who want to sell their own political agenda and not really talk about the unity of this country, then we actually believe that what Musalia and Ruto are doing, or what happened during the earthquake, is what is going to take this country forward. I support.
Okay. So mambo imegeuka sasa, wewe na William ni mandugu, marafiki, very long history.
We come a long way, William and I, and I'm sure you know that, we come a long way.
Aya, mambo ya earthquake. Kuna watu ambao walisema it was not even a tremor. Raila Odinga said, "Hapana, don't promise an earthquake and then you don't even deliver a tremor." Do you think it was an earthquake?
It was the biggest earthquake. Actually, it is still, the aftershocks are still being felt up to today. The president had to call a meeting at State House of the Luyap Nation. Okay. He had to tell them, oh, you guys, I may revive Mumias Sugar, I may do this for you. I want you to go back on the ground. We saw them go yesterday to Golf Hotel in Kakamega. The earthquake is still being felt. And when they reached Kakamega, we thought they'll talk about what Azimio wants to do for the people of Western. We thought they'll talk about our biggest trading partner, that is Uganda. We have been seeing the trucks lining up there. There are big problems between the Kenya-Uganda trade. We thought they'll talk about the banning of schools. Kakamega High School is down. Chavakali High School down. Butere Girls down. We thought they'll talk about our hospitals in the region, which have no medicine, nothing going on. We thought they'll talk about the skyrocketing prices, the lives of ruined in Western Kenya. But when they came there, we saw characters like Ayub Savula. They'll stand up and he says the word Azimio. And after he says Azimio, the next word that comes out is insults. Insults. Bad words. Calling others thieves. Labeling William Ruto a thief. Musalia Mudavadi, I don't know, stole the grave of his grandmother, or I don't know what he did. He talked about somebody stealing an embassy. We are seeing the earthquake. When you see people like Ayub Savula and others come out, people like my father, Papa Tuoli, coming out of Kajiado to fly around. When you see people like Eugene Wamalwa forming up some Bolea party and fertilizer party, this is the earthquake. They are being shaken. They know things are coming to the end. The Bible talked about the earthquake, for those of you who read the Bible. When you see these things begin to happen, when you see earthquakes, know that the end is near. The end of handshake, the end of Azimio has come. This earthquake comes with an ending. And we are seeing it. And then again, I can say, Wanja, I'm sorry I'm taking so much time, but let me say this. Earthquake did not only shake the country, it shook even the international community. For those of us who are very close to Musalia Mudavadi, we have been seeing country donors and people from the other nations calling on Musalia, coming to visit him at the Musalia Center. They believe that Musalia not only joined the team of the hustlers as just a partner or to partner with them, but also as a sanitizer. You know, there's been a lot of bad talk about hustlers. Some of them are not good people. Some have court cases. Musalia comes in as a sober mind, as a clean man, as a new broom, as a person who may bring a picture of some sobriety. And that is what the earthquake is all about. It shook the foundations of this nation. It is still shaking, and we are feeling it.
Allah, okay. You seem very happy. Hi. Wanja, good morning.
Good morning.
And a happy new year to you.
Asante sana, happy new year.
Well,
yeah. Is it really new? We're in
It's new because I've not seen you. I've not seen you this
Actually,
year.
yes, we've not seen each other.
I've not seen each
Yeah.
other. I've not seen
So-
you. You've not seen me. We've not seen each other.
Yeah,
so
but I watched the
it's
taco
happening here
soon,
for
yeah.
us. Yes.
So I'm fine. We are just observing what's happening in the country.
Okay.
Certainly, the political temperatures are rising. But then again, when I listen to my friend here talking with a lot animated,
Amunga. It's called
Amunga, very animated,
Akanyala.
and talking about what's happening. I'm left wondering, because if you invite people to a party in your home,
Yes.
and you cook for them, who is supposed to say that the food was sweet? The one who cooked or the one who enjoyed the food?
I don't enjoy the food.
So now, I wish the makers of the so-called earthquake
Yeah.
could maybe for a moment hold back and ask us who were supposed to be the recipients of the earthquake,
Mulo
the
ilikuwa
magnitude of that earthquake,
Eh.
because indeed the makers of the so-called earthquake are really high-ranking themselves.
Oh, really?
That said, during the earthquake that was on a Sunday, I wonder if that was a very good timing to have such an event on a Sunday. There was also something else that happened, which was, we'd say it was, if not the death, then it will be that OCA disintegrated.
Okay.
Even literally, because we saw a walkout
Yes.
of the other key principles. ANC, since now they are working closely with UDA. Yesterday, Muthama, who is the leader of UDA, said that they are not partners, they are friends. And in political world, such words are not just mere words. Because when you say we are not partners, then a curious onlooker would wonder if are there no intentions of having a coalition.
Okay.
And you also know now what happened to the political parties amendment bill. So is it that UDA does not see ANC as a formidable partner? That's why they are relegating them to a place called friendship. And what are the terms of being friends? I also heard
I don't.
Musalia.
Muthama actually came and disputed the
Yes,
statement.
yes, that's what I
He
did
made a
say.
statement. So
That
I don't know if
statement,
it still
media
holds.
had run away with it. And actually, the truth of the matter, Wanja, is that Muthama has already disputed that.
For the purpose of records, though.
Yeah,
I'm
he has
making
said it
the
clear
interest of
that
records.
media exaggerated.
It could be damage control on his side. But
Could
anyway,
be.
that said,
Anything is possible.
that said, I mean, we also know that sometimes people say words and then they realize the magnitude and then they sort of try to damage control. And they, Musalia Mudavadi also said that the friendship that they have with UDA and others, they don't have a flag bearer yet. And for us who are just observing, some of these things look obvious, that William is in for the long run and he's very keen on him being in the ballot. So then it begs the question, is it that both of them will be in the ballot come 2022? But when I listen to Amunga is talking about a tremor that really scared, an earthquake that really scared Azimio. And someone would wonder, is that friendship between UDA, ANC and others meant to manage Azimio or meant to deliver for the Kenyans? Because then it could be a very reactionary move that all of us are coming together, not to show what we can deliver for the Kenyans, but to scare the other team. Other than bottoms up, other than a few words here and there that are not very clear, it is not very clear what these friends are delivering for the Kenyans.
Okay.
On the other hand, if you look at Azimio, as at now, they have given us 10 points agenda of what they intend to deliver for the Kenyans. So the question is, are these friends meant to hurt, to it's like a, what is it called, a tug of war with the other party, or what they are delivering for the Kenyans? So that's where we are at now.
Unataka agenda.
Yeah, you see, Wanja has asked a very good question. That was the earthquake just meant to scare? It was not meant to scare. It was meant to shake and uproot the foundations of conmanship politics that exists in our country. Azimio is not about. When we look at Azimio, we don't see the what it really is driving at also. Because when you listen to the proponents of Azimio, like you've talked about the 10-point agenda, it doesn't come out in their rallies. What comes out is is insults. It is people trying to hype each other for the sake of helping their political careers. The other day I saw Wahome Dhuku, one of the persons who works with you in Azimio, or who talks about Azimio. He's a blogger. He was writing about the security teams around Baba. How recently the other day they were in Muranga and how they beat up people and how they did so many funny things. The issue around Azimio is that this politics of roughness, this politics of push and shove, this politics of calling people names and labeling people names, that is what Earthquake is meant to shake. For us Kenyans to come up with ideologies. And that's what I like about William Ruto. William Ruto keeps telling people, and also Musalia Mudavadi, this is not about me. It is about Mama Mboga, it's about Boda, it's about Kenyans. You see, Musalia Mudavadi talks about pesa mfukoni. He's talking about money going back to those Mama Mbogas, those people down there, those hustlers. So the Azimio la Umoja is a coming together of billionaires, of people who have been in this thing, who feel they want to be protected, who want to feel that we don't want to lose. It's about some conservatism. It's about remaining the way you are. You know, I one time attended something called the National Youth Service, and there used to be something they'd say, as you are, remain as you are, no movement. That is what Azimio is all about. Azimio is about preservation of the ideologies that we have had all through since independence. Preservation. People want to preserve their small businesses. Some business moguls want to, from Mount Kenya or from wherever, they want to preserve themselves. Some dynasties want to continue ruling and feeling like we are the ones who can rule. Our families are the ones that can do it. Another person cannot do it. The earthquake came to shake that conservatism. That we can come out of that kind of thing and be people now who can think independently and think about the common mwananchi. Putting money back to the common person. Making the economy work. If Azimio was to win in August, I can assure all Kenyans who are listening to us today, we'll be back to business as usual. Back to corruption, back to looting, back to labeling people names, back to this kind of frenzy, and a lot of just hype that brings nothing to the table. But we need a change of mind, a transformation that comes clearly with something like an earthquake. And that is what Musalia and William Ruto are promising. So the agenda that we are asking, are we seeing any agenda? Oh, when you listen to things like bottom up, listen to men like David Ndii talk. When you listen to things like pesa mfukoni, uchumi bora, these are tenets. These are powerful things that need to be listened to by sober Kenyans to realize that indeed this country is in a very bad place. And by the way talk, hey, kama kuna kitu mbaya hii Kenya saa hii ni uchumi bwana.
Uchumi ni mbaya.
Ni mbaya wa ajabu. Hata hii Valentine ananiambia ati sijui nilie bibi yangu sijui Linda. Madam, I know you are listening. Mimi sina pesa. I don't have sina pesa mfukoni. It is bad. We are going through the worst of our times. My car got spoiled when I was in a hustler rally in Bungoma. Bado niliwacha huko. I'll have to think of how to go and get it because the spare parts are expensive. The fuel is expensive. This country is in a bad trajectory. It needs an earthquake. Kenyans, we need an earthquake to shake some people. To shake some of these politicians who are seated there yapping and feeling good. And not listening to you as the common mwananchi. Things are bad, Wanja.
Do you relate with the state of the economy? Do you think Kenya is in a bad place economically? Are you feeling it yourself? Kitu mfukoni?
First and foremost, one of the challenges, and I think Bitok when I was here last, I said, is that we are as good as our weakest link. One of the things that Azimio is promising is social protection. Baba has said, and he has talked about 6,000. In most countries that are well-to-do, we are talking about America, we are talking about the Nordic countries. One of the things that really works is social protection. So the truth of the matter is that at any given time in any country, there will be people who will be lagging behind, lack the basics, and that is the promise of Azimio, which is social protection. My good friend Amunga here has talked about people who want things the way things have been done since independence. who is a better example of a person who has pushed for mabadiliko and change than Baba? Look at the constitution that we have that was birthed in 2010. If indeed we look at history, and the truth of history is that it's all about facts.
Okay.
If there's a person who has been in the side of history of change, it has to be Baba. Look at the push for constitutional changes and all. So when we talk about the people who want things to remain as they are, then if you look at the history, we are looking at the 90s and we are looking at the 90s. We know who are in the side of the oppressor, and we know who are people pushing for change. And history is on Baba's side. The people of the people in Amunga's team are talking about people calling other people names. The most recent balkanization and the most recent utterances that shook the whole country, including national cohesion, is when one member of their team called people madoadoa. Kenyans have a traumatic relationship with the word madoadoa.
Okay.
It is equivalent to hate speech. It is equivalent to ethnic cleansing. It is equivalent to murder. It is equivalent to what? And even the most ironical thing is that same word was used in Eldoret, where the history of 2007, 2008 is not even forgotten. So then the question is, when we look at the words that are accompanying people on the side of UDA, they have all the examples of the things we don't want.
Okay.
When we look at Azimio, we must look at some historical events that happened barely 3 years ago. One of the things that happened was the historic handshake that caught many people by surprise. And it does not require a lot of science for us to see the genesis of the handshake up to where we are now in Azimio.
Okay.
The handshake was as a result of some political realities, which included maandamano, which included people protesting on Mondays, which included a lot of run-ins with the police. And that really is the nature of a good leader.
Okay.
And a good leader sometimes, for you to be a good leader, sometimes there are times where you have to compromise. And at the time, I would want to imagine that what went to the president's mind was, this is a guy who has garnered 5 million votes, still popular, is not happy with the results, and now people are protesting. So what do? We can do a handshake and work together and bring some sort of peace and sanity in the country. So when you talk about harsh economic times, we can talk about harsh economic times and unpack it in many ways. One, the country does not have a functional social protection system. Because when people are saying we are doing very badly economically, we can as well say that some people are doing well economically, because Kenya is one of the countries in the world that has a very big inequality between the poor and the rich. So what social protection does is it anticipates such a scenario and says, at any given time, because Wanja is youthful, we shall be giving her 6,000. Not enough to meet all her needs, but at least she can be able to buy food. That is something. And for a leader who is talking about social protection, that is a leader to be embraced. For a leader who is talking about health, because some of the things that causes poverty in this country is just poor health. When you're unwell, you're bankruptcy away from a disease. There is a big promise of Baba Care, which is a health system. So then, when we talk about poverty, we can talk about maybe in another day. It can be because of, maybe jobs are not matching with the skills of the youth. We can talk about people not. We can talk about it in depth. But really, when we go back to the to the main point of the earthquake, the earthquake and the tremors of the earthquake they are in have to be accompanied by something. It's not enough to shake us. Tell us what you are promising us after you've shaken us. Because that earthquake, if it was for shaking us, it scared small children. But what is in that basket of the shaking us? Is it health? Is it food prices? Is it social protection? Well, yeah.
Yes, Wanja. It is Pesam Fukoni. It is. I like what Wanja has said, but Wanja has fallen for that trap of the Azimio guys. Handshake was the worst thing that happened to this country. It killed trade unions like the one I work for, NAT. It was a way to shut up some people. There was nothing like handshake. The genuine handshake that has ever happened in this country was when Sir William Ruto teamed up with Uhuru Kenyatta. They had been taken to Hague. That time it was bad. We were talking about post-election violence. The country was up in flames. It was the worst thing that ever happened in this country. Hiyo maandamano ya machozi Mondays, a few guys have been bought to run on the streets of Nairobi from Kibra, and then you say that now we have handshook, so maandamano imeisha. Those were just fellows from the streets of from Kibera. They are bought with a few shillings and told, and then mtupe mawe huko kwa street. Then we say now we have machozi Monday. Now we are, the country is ungovernable. There was nothing like country ungovernable. You can't compare. Those funny things that Raila was using boys and girls on the streets of Nairobi after 2000. Hiyo kuapisha, sijui inaitwa kuapisha. That was rubbish. That was nonsense. You can't compare that with what happened in 2007, 2008, where we had a full-fledged war, post-election violence. That's what brought a handshake, a proper handshake that we saw that propelled Uhuru and Ruto to become the current leaders of this country. But the one we are talking about, handshake, this one was just a thing about a few people, somebody using some Cornish boys to throw a few stones here, call a few fellows to Uhuru Park. I'm happy Uhuru Park is closed so that there will be no longer such shenanigans. Then you have people come to swear themselves in. Then you claim now these fellows we want to make peace with. A person who swears himself in is a criminal. He's supposed to be in committee, not at you. And then Wanja. Me, I'm a teacher of history. I've been a teacher for 20-something years. If you see the comments there, they'll tell you Amunga is a teacher. A powerful teacher of history. One of the best. Go to Keep Six Girls, I have a record. Go to Kakamega High. What I want to say is this. The history that Raila portrays to us when he's doing those Azimio things of his is a history of himself. He gives us and the good side of himself. He doesn't tell us of his role in the 1982 coup. He doesn't tell us what he did. He doesn't tell us how Ochuka died. He doesn't tell us what his role was in that coup. He doesn't tell us what he did to Kijana Wamalwa at Thika Stadium when he invaded the meeting and threw out Kijana Wamalwa. He doesn't tell us about Pinto Gama. He doesn't tell us about JM Karaoke. He doesn't tell us what killed Tom Mboya. He doesn't tell us when what is his name, the founding president Jomo Kenyatta came to open Russia Hospital in Kisumu in 1969, and people were killed when the supporters of Jaramogi Odinga clashed with those of Uhuru Kenyatta, Jomo Kenyatta, and people died on the streets. People died. 1969, Russia Hospital, the one nowadays called Jaramogi. Yes. I want to tell Kenyans, history is not history for convenience. For politics. History is for prosperity. History comes in to clear the air of everything else. The history that we are given on those political rallies, in those Mount Kenya Billionaire Foundation meetings with Kinaeske Macharia, those are selective history lessons. The real history of this country is this. This country, it was founded by people who wanted to eradicate poverty, to eradicate ujinga, to eradicate disease, sickness and disease. It has failed. That is the history that we want to hear. This country has failed. And that is why we are talking about a new policy called bottom-up, where we want this eradication of poverty. We want pesa mfukoni. We want to eradicate disease by coming up with a social welfare, a nice, wachana hivi tunasikia kwamba NHIF, like yesterday the biggest debate was private hospitals want to pull out of working with the NHIF. Yet all of us are paying towards NHIF. 6,000 shillings, Kenyans cannot do anything. Wanja does not need a handout. She's a young person. She wants a proper job, well-paying job. She needs reduction of taxes. Our taxes are too high. She needs corruption in this country to stop. We need a leader who will say, corruption, kwisha. And she needs a government that keeps promises. When they say big four agenda, then let it be big four agenda. But so far what we are seeing, and according to the speech that Musalia gave that day at the Bombers, this country is on the wrong path, and we cannot talk about anything, leave alone even the 6,000. Where will we get it? We don't want even it. It won't even help us. When we have a big infrastructure like the SGR, we have, which is a public utility structure. Yet the tenets, what it was founded on, how the loan was borrowed, we don't have it, we don't know. It's not in the public domain. It means there's a lot of underground things going on. Azimio is out to protect thieves who have stolen from this country. Azimio has nothing to help Kenyans. Everything they are telling us is about how to preserve themselves, preserve corruption, preserve the things they have stolen, and meanwhile they are calling others thieves. It's like when somebody stole from me on Tomboya Road, and I'm finishing with this. They stole my phone. So when I started to say, hey, Mwizi, they all turned on me and said, Mwizi. Actually, I was beaten. I was slapped and beaten, yes. Yet it is me who had lost my phone. That is what Azimio does. That is what Papa Tuoli, Savola, and those characters in Azimio are doing. They look at you, they are the thieves, but they look at others as the thieves. They'll call Ruto a thief, they'll call Musalia a thief, they'll call whoever a thief, but they'll never tell us who stole KEMSA. They'll never tell us who stole our COVID funds. They'll never tell us who stole our masks when we were sick. They'll never tell us who is stealing our SGR. They'll never tell us who was the real thief. But they look at the small thief, or not really the small thief, they look at the other person and say that one is the thief. Shame on you, Azimio fellows.
Hi. Do you have any rejoinder, Wanja?
She can't have.
First, really, I think the topic of health stands out for me. But I usually wonder how people talk about health as a function of national government. Okay. Yet we know that health is devolved. Okay. That is one thing. So health works in some counties and not necessarily others. Okay. When it goes to really issues of thieves or who is not a thief or who is a thief, maybe that one I wouldn't be particularly keen to rejoin. Okay. Because those are things that should be or should not be proven. But Bitok, allow me to take you back to the issue of history that Mwalimu has told us here. He talks about the 2017 being a small tension or something, 2008 being worse. It could be, and I'm almost certain that it is, yes, that we have had previous post-election violences that have been even more worse. The difference is that the media and the freedom of the press. For example, in 1992, it's just because at the time we had, KBC and Voice of Kenya, KBC, which was a government entity, so we could not have been able to watch. We didn't have smartphones to take photos, the full extent of post-election. So was 97. So was 2007, 2008. So was 2017. But Bitok, is there such a thing as a small number of people who are dying and a big number of people? Not at all, because of the cost of human life.
That's true.
Then we go to our GDP, because we are talking about the economics and the money in the pocket and what happens during political seasons. I wish I came with some information I have, but it's also out there in the public domain. Recently, as recent as last week, one of the members of parliament, who is a friend of young people, his name is Jeremiah Kioni, he invited around towards 150, 200 young people in a meeting. I was one of the leaders. Okay. We just sat across the tribes, across everything. The only qualification was being a young person. And we were just talking about figures and numbers. The beauty about numbers is that they don't lie. It's a graph. Every time our GDP has gone down, and every time we've had low economic outcomes, it was during the political period. What does that mean? That means in this 2022, because of the political uncertainty, because Bitok, who has 100 million, does not want to put money in such a country that is going to have elections very soon and there might be political tensions, the money circulation and the economic outcomes go down. So this kind of a working relationship, the Azimio or the peace or the handshake, is telling us that when it comes to elections, we don't have to be afraid. We don't have to worry over bad thing that is going to happen, because we're in this as a country, and participating in an election is your right, and you have nothing to be afraid of. Speaking of people who have sacrificed for others, and speaking of people who have forgone their ambitions to support others, who is better? First and foremost, Ruto has never been a presidential aspirant. He has only been a running mate of a person who is a presidential aspirant. Mudavadi was a presidential candidate in 2013.
Yes.
We know that his votes hazikutosha.
Yes.
They were not even close. What are we saying? If indeed there is a person who has given a shot in the presidency, is Baba. And if indeed there is a person who can be used as an example of a person who has forgone his personal interest for the bigger goal of the country, it is still him. Look at 2001, 2002. At the time, the goal was very clear. We have been in an authoritarian and total, that one rule, and we have a common enemy, a person who has been holding us for 24 years. And indeed, he was popular even then. He forwent his own ambitions and said, Kebake tosha. Come 2017, we know how the history panned out. But even the handshake was a very bold move because of the current economic, because of the happenings of the time. Our economy was going down. But now 2021, 2022, if we are really to use the current economic hardships, no one had budgeted for corona. No one had anticipated corona. Corona was like, it was a health emergency. No one saw it coming. So we can't particularly lay blame on who caused the corona, who brought it, now that we are doing very badly. It was just an accident, as it were. I think moving forward, we should also start asking questions like, who are the largest number of people who are going to participate in these elections, and how do they connect with all this that is happening? As at now, the IBC register should be towards 20 million, unless, but the number could have changed because there is an ongoing voter registration, mass voter registration. Conservatively, 60% of those people are youthful. That means the people who are going to participate in this election, 60% of them are people who are born from 1987 and below. So those are the people who are 35. Who are 35.
Yes.
Maybe the question is, what are the things that they connect with as at now? They are connecting with, with jobs. They are connecting with a leader who is fatherly. They are connecting with a leader who is warm towards them, who is warm towards their aspirations, who is telling them that I'll give you 6,000 to help you get transport as you're going to print your papers and putting your degrees in order. And remember, some of us who are in this age that we are at, during the post-election, we are almost towards the end of our teenage years. We don't want that kind of life. We don't want to be in a place where we want to be with a figure who look like he's forgiving, who is amiable, who is bringing people together. And I dare say that Baba has really tried in bringing people together. He has really tried in creating an impression that Kenya is bigger than. Because I remember when someone called Kenyans Madoadoa, I remember he unpacked it very, very well. He said that if we are really to say who is a visitor in this country, like for example, Uasin Gishu was the home of the Maasai, if I'm not wrong, according to the anthropology.
Even
Nairobi here. Some of us, he even says that some of us came from Congo, somewhere down south. So really, we can't say who is here and who is not here and who is a Madoadoa in another country. And because we know that that's a recipe for violence, Baba is saying we are all here. If Bitok is doing his hustle in Nairobi, continue doing it. If someone else, we don't want, at least for now, we don't want to be associated with a leader who is talking with undertones that are bordering towards hate speech or maligning some communities or putting some people in a particular basket.
The same question I asked you, Peter. Before I come to you, I want to ask the same question, Wanja. While you're reading this history, you're reading out history, past way time, 90s, 2000. When did you get aware of this history? Because I've worked with you in Jubilee in the past, and the conversation has been different with the same leaders. How is history so convenient politically that suddenly we remember very good history about people that we've disagreed with before and fought before very passionately?
Well, there's a difference between disagreeing, there's a difference between competing, and there's a difference between maligning people. And
did you say the same things maybe in 2017? The same things you're saying today? About the same person?
Certainly. I've always been very objective, and I've always been a person who looks at facts. And the facts, as at then, could have been the facts that were in the competition mode, and not necessarily bullying or harassing.
Does that mean then the same things you're saying today about other candidates could be in competition mode? and could change anytime.
No, facts are facts. Like, for example, if you talk about what happened in 1991, that is a fact of history. So maybe the question is, they should also give their history, and then we can compete.
Did you say these things in 2017 as well? The histories of 1991 and 207 around the time. Did you?
Where were we in 2017? In 2017, we were just in an election and I had taken a side.
Okay.
In 2020, this year, we're in an election and I've taken a side.
And so I'm asking about the history, the factual history. Did you speak on them?
Well, was there an avenue to speak on them?
Of course there was.
It depends on...
And I'm holding you guys accountable because, like, the same thing, I put you in a corner
put me
about
at
your
no
comments. And I put you in a corner about comments on what you've made, the comments you made before here. You made before here, and suddenly seems to be changing. And because, you know, we speak to Wananchi. It's a space where we speak to people, to citizens. And I'd want us to be very careful not to feed people with convenient conversations. That it's convenient for now, but it could change. I mean, it's interesting to listen to this conversation.
Paul in the Bible was once called Saul. What we are saying is, at least for, you see, even participating in political rights are even enshrined in the Constitution.
Yes, I agree.
So if they are enshrined in the Constitution, even the Constitution itself anticipates that at one time, Bitok will be mobilizing people towards course A. At the second time, they'll be mobilizing people towards course B. It's just about interest and the current...
Does that mean then that also history changes according to where you're mobilizing for?
No, history does not change.
Okay.
If the history says we got the Constitution in 2010, that is fact. Okay. You see, there's a difference between history and opinion.
No, what Wanja is saying is...
Yeah.
And you, Amunga, even you need to accept that you twist and karanga history when it's convenient.
According to Wanja, is used selectively, depending on which side she is. If she is on the side of the side I am, of the earthquake, or Kenya Kwanza, she'll speak history of earthquakes. She'll tell us about tectonic shifts and plates. But if she is on the side which she is now, she'll give us good history of this man who stood 5 times. Now this is the 10th, and he has always done well. He's good, you know. But the truth of the matter, I and Wanja were in Jubilee that time you're talking about, and the things we spoke about this current guy she's talking about were bad. That is the truth of the matter. We sensitized our constituencies. Me and Wanja went out. In fact, Kumira in Central. The reason why we went out in Central to get voters out, even sick ones, Wanja, let us be honest with our listeners, was because this current guy you're talking about, we didn't want him. We told our candidates, Nemogoroki, hiyo maneno yote tulitumia on this gentleman. Yeah. No time did we say that he is good, that he has got, I don't know, usually alipigania uhuru, usually baba yake alikuwa nani. We didn't talk about that. And that's why we must remove history. And we must remove history from politics. Because the problem of using history is that we selectively use it. And that is wrong for our upcoming children. For a teacher like me, it is also wrong because we distort facts to make history now favor our person. It is wrong, that one. But there's something that Wanja has kept on mentioning and bring up. The issue of Madoadoa remark. And I did notice that's the only comment that Azimio guys have really dwelt on. You know, we point a finger at one person, and remember there are so many other fingers pointing back at us. Yes, is he called Mutu? What is the name of that guy who was in the rally in Eldoret and he said those words? He was even arrested.
Mithika.
Yes, Mthika. He was even arrested. The party, UDA, even gave an official position and said that was unfortunate remark. It should not have come out the way it came out. The same way, yesterday, was it the day before yesterday, listeners, Mama Ida Odinga, the wife to the Azimio fellow, she comes up and just says that churches should be closed, I don't know, regulated. Some churches are bad-mannered, they are not good. Evangelical churches should be regulated and, I don't know, did she say sanitized and vaccinated? So she said some bad words about churches. In this country, and if Wanja you meet that lady, tell her, Kenyans, we are evangelicals. Sisi tunapenda dini. We love our churches. If you can come and start telling us again that we must check our churches and regulate our churches and make them, I don't know what. We love our overnights. We love giving sadaka. Kama unyinyi watu Azimio mpendi kwenda kanisa, mtu ambie. na mkae mbali na makanisa na msiongee kuhusu kanisa, because some of you don't even seem to know giving is part and parcel of worship. Giving our tithe, giving our sadaka. You want to regulate even how much sadaka we should give in church. You want to come up with a mission with stories in church. So these are the things I'm saying, Wanja, that when we are pointing fingers at Rinturi, why are we not also pointing at a finger at Mama Ida, who wants to regulate churches when she becomes president, when she becomes the first lady in this country? Our words, at least, actually, Mama Ida came out and apologized. I don't know if you people follow those kind of things. She apologized. But you see, that was a very unfortunate remark. It trended for the whole of yesterday. Because churches are churches. We cannot have some mama who wants to become a first lady starting to dictate to us about which church to go to and how to worship our God. We shall worship in any manner we want. And that's what I'm telling Christians who are listening to us today. Azimio is not an option for Christians. Azimio, from the way we see it, na vile wanaongea, hao watu si wa Kristo, hao watu waende watafute kanisa zingine huko Nigeria, but not in Kenya. And then finally, I want to finish by also mentioning something about what again Wanja has talked about. Kenya Kwanza, which brings together Musalia Mudavadi, William Ruto, and Wetangula, and all the Hustler Nation, the big Hustler Nation, is not after handouts. And so, Wanja, you don't need a handout. Wanja, my daughter is in the university.
Social protection is not a handout.
No.
Social protection is not a handout. In fact, social protection works even in developed countries. For example,
I know,
a person who is elderly in the UK, as at now, on Friday they will receive a check. Or a person who is unwell, or a person who is maybe nursing a sick child. So we are not talking about handouts. We are talking about social protection. We are talking about a safety net for people who at a particular time cannot be able to fend for themselves. That is true. And the people, you tried to trivialize 6,000 shillings. And for me, that comes off as if you are a person who is privileged in society, a person of high means, a dynasty. I can tell you what, 6,000 in my pocket is pocket change. But 6,000 in another household, Gerald, is money that can be able to fend children. Yeah. Because you see, when you travel kidogo, when you meet people who of low economic means, you realize that what I buy is a packet of maize flour at 130 shillings, for example. There are people who buy the same 1 kg, 2 kgs at 80 shillings because they know how to do their kadogo economy. Yeah. So the reason why during Corona we'd see even people taking photos and they have not eaten for 2 days, it is because we don't have a safety net. Because, we are told that you're as strong as your weakest link. You're as strong as people in your society who don't have anything. So if this 6,000 is called a handout, maybe to those of high economic means, but I can tell you what, there is a young person right now who is invited for a job interview and they cannot be able to go there because they don't have a job. I remember you even wrote about it. Yeah. There's a person who will say, naeza taka kwenda lakini sina fare. But with an assurance of 6,000, I can print my papers, I can go to town and go to the job interview. So for those who are calling 6,000 shillings a handout, we don't associate with them because they are of high economic means. For those of us who know the challenges of being a young person without any shilling, for us, 6,000 is welcome. We know that it's not for all the time. It is for a safety net during bad economic times. And for us, we are very happy with it.
No, you are not. I know you cannot be. 6,000, as you put it, is not even pocket change. Yeah. With the current economic situation, 6,000 is not even money. It cannot pay anything. Even that thing you are telling me about going to photocopy your papers or transport. From here to Mombasa and back, 6,000 will not even take you. Let me just say this. It is a handout. It is a bad handout. It's a cheap handout. It's a bribe to keep youngsters like you, thinking that do
you know how much people on social protection now receive from government? They receive 2,000. And I can tell you what, don't think that 6,000 is only for the youth. It's also for the elderly. It's also for the disabled. And the 2,000 shillings, I can tell you what, if you go to the bank at the end of the month, you find those elderly people going to look for the 2,000. So, no, we are saying that it could be that in other countries, maybe social protection is 50,000. Yeah. But for us with nothing,
we have to start from something.
6,000 is something. And then again, which one is, we can as well ask ourselves, between a wheelbarrow and an assurance of 6,000, which one is better in terms of assuring you that you can be able to navigate? And there's no one who is saying that the person who is receiving 6,000 is doomed to always be like a beggar of the 6,000. It is a safety net. People who receive social protection in other countries receive when they're jobless, but once they get a job, they are moved from the social protection.
Okay.
It doesn't sound like a handout to us.
Okay, let me say something, Wanja, about social protection.
Yeah.
Social protection, especially in those countries abroad, is a very well thought out thing. It's not something that somebody just declared in some political rally in Kibera. Those countries have the strong GDPs. And even the way they vet the people who will get that social protection is in the constitution. It is something that is not just picked from anywhere and brought to and heckled around on the streets of Nairobi. Social protection is a scheme, my friend, that needs a lot of research, that has had professors and people at the university who have done great research about it. It's not a political thing. It's an economic thing. Raila is not an economic person. He's a politician. He's a person who is known for politics and politics of stone throwing and hate mongering and all those kind of things. I want to say this. Social protection that Wanja is talking about is not the 6,000 that we are hearing about. The 6,000 we are hearing about is a heckling scheme, is a scheme meant to confuse poor Kenyans. Social protection in the US, those who have gone to the US, and you can Google, those who are listening to us, that's a powerful thing. And it's not for everybody. It's not for every Tom, Dick, and Harry. It's, as she says, a safety net. And the people reach a place and they register with the government that they are jobless, some are homeless. They register and they are vetted by the government. Then they are declared. Some of them even live in homes. They're even given homes to live in. They are like, it's not something that somebody just goes to a place like Embakasi and says, from this coming August, everybody who doesn't have a job will get 6,000. From where? We don't even have the money. Our economy cannot sustain that kind of thing as I speak right now. We have an economy that is in shambles. Let me tell Kenyans, and Musalia Mudavadi said this. Out of every 100 shillings collected by the Kenya Revenue Authority, today, 70 shillings goes to paying debt. All that remains for us to operate as a country is 30 shillings. Out of every 100 shillings, only 30 shillings remains to pay salary for us as teachers, remains to do anything that we want to do to run devolution. As I speak now, I'm a member of our school, I'm a board chair of our school here in Nairobi. Free secondary school education has not hit school accounts. CDF, what is called CDF bursaries for schools. All schools, and I dare any parent who's listening to me to challenge me right now. Money from CDF, from county government has not hit schools as bursaries. The reason is there is no money. I am at mimi ni mtetezi wa walimu. And I'm speaking this, I want teachers who are listening. I can see some of them already commenting here. Teachers, today you got your pay slip for this month that has just ended, which is January. Now we are in February. The taxes that teachers have been imposed on have never been seen before. In fact, it is now that teachers have understood why Sosion had to be removed from NAT and another person put there. It's because their pay slips have been raided by government. People who don't know, those who are taxpayers like me, who pay as you earn. Wanja, I don't know if you pay that kind of thing. If you pay as you earn tax, then you will know what kind of government we are serving today. No worker in this country. And I'm ashamed that even my father, Papa Twoli, had reached a place and even speak as a leader of workers in this country. When workers are overburdened in this country with taxes, we cannot sustain. We cannot even manage our pay slips. Almost 60% of our pay slips are going to pay taxes in this country. As teachers, actually, we have said, and I'm saying it clearly here, we will not vote for Azimio. We will not want to vote for anything that's conservative. We will go to any person who promises us that you can change this economy. You can make us reduce our taxes. If you give everybody 6,000 in this country, that means you burden us more with more taxes. We will not accept. And we are saying we will not accept handouts. Our young people want jobs. Give them jobs.
Saidia simu pale.
Well, could it be...
Okay. Bunga la Mwananchi, jambo. Tufoni tafadhali. Bunga la Mwananchi, good morning. Hello. Uliza swali nani?
Naona akisema hapo hivyo that Raila atatoa wapi pesa ya kulipa hiyo 6,000.
Rudia tena najua nakusikia. Tafadhali please kama pekee.
Anasema Raila atatoa wapi pesa ya kulipa 6,000. So the same question applies to him.
Yes.
Ruto atatoa wapi pesa ya kuimplement ya 100 billion anasema atapeana mavijana?
Okay, 100 billion ya vijana na 6,000 ya Azimio. Okay, kuna swali nyingine?
Okay, another question is,
Yes.
Why is he like Kenya naongea yote is about hate speech, but here in Azimio we are talking about umoja. Anytime he speaks, he's talking about mawe. What is he driving to?
Okay, swali nyingine?
Ni hiyo tu.
Haya, asante sana. Bunge la Mwananchi, jambo.
Hello.
Good morning to you. How are you?
Good morning. My name is Ruben Opati.
Yes, Ruben.
This is the first time I'm calling in,
Karibu sana.
but I'm a great follower. Sometimes you might be seeing my comments
I really
along
appreciate.
the live YouTube.
I really appreciate. Unajua mimi husema nyinyi ndio tackle.
Yeah.
Bila nyinyi tackle haipo.
Oh yes, sure. Now I want to speak to. I don't know whether it will seem like an abuse. There are two chameleons there, because our politicians.
You have to withdraw and apologize.
Especially
You're calling my guest chameleon.
About the handout,
Yeah.
the 6,000 handout.
Yeah.
You know, we have all the people, because one thing that will come out is I work in a financial institution somewhere. I see all the people lining up for 2,000.
Okay.
And there is a private school somewhere paying teachers 5,000 per month. And those teachers are working there to earn 5,000 per month. So if 6,000 is called a handout, I want to understand what AMUNGA will call the money that the side he supports goes around and says, we are giving 1.5 million to border borders here. And that place has more than 200 border borders.
Okay.
When you subdivide the 1.5 million, it comes out to even less than 1,000 per person. Where the 6,000 will come from, I would think, even though I'm not sure whether I will be a Baba supporter, even though I might seem like a sympathizer of one. But at the same time,
But when you look at those numbers, it's almost 700 billion.
Yeah.
When you tabulate the numbers and you look at the margin of Kenyans who need that social support, you would be looking at above 700 billion.
That is exactly what is actually, I'm now moving to that side, looking at it. Because also, if you look at whether we will be able to use this money, because now speaking to the lady who is there, I would really ask them also if they are the near side. If we took this 700 billion, the 6,000 of all these people who are not there, and we decide to bring up the companies that are suffering, examples of Momias which we are struggling to sell, examples of financial institutions like National Bank, which we've already sold, don't we think this money can be used to revive these places and be able to give these people jobs? We have a sugar industry that is suffering, and it is employing very many people.
Okay.
Not just employing people, but also supporting farmers to pay their school fees. We have farmers going to banks getting loans because of the money they would have been paid by the likes of Momia. Now, such a financial institution is actually struggling. Where will their loans be paid from? This money could be used to do such things, and not exactly to be used as a handout. But the side that talks about that is questioning the handouts. Honestly, they have no right to question the handouts. They are the manufacturers of handouts right now. They are the ones moving around saying this money for this money for this. And maybe it is time we look away from both of these people. Maybe it is time we stop talking about two horses. We have people that we need to talk about. When we have people coming in the station, maybe you might want to think about bringing someone that can be able to represent independent people such as Ruben Kigame, because I know there are people who are actually supporting them. So that we can have 3 or so people. These two horses are not really two horses.
Yes.
They might be some two dragons taking us to the same direction.
Actually, Martha Karua has promised that they're unleashing another horse end of this month.
Oh yes,
So
let them bring that
more
one.
horses.
Yes, bring more horses. Let them bring that one also. So that we don't have changing chameleons here today, there tomorrow. And the other day somebody took a bottle, akainamisha hivi, akaongelea bottom up, mtu anakunywa yote. Today, they have started something else. We are calling it Kenya Kuisha. But then they are calling it something different. We need more horses.
Thank you, my brother.
Represented in these places where the media talks about this.
Santa, thank you so much for speaking so boldly on the tackle. This is the tackle, and this is where we tackle issues as they are. Thank you for joining us this morning, and call in again another time.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a good day. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning to you, Odede.
Good morning, Gerald.
I know you are here for AMUNGA. How are you?
I'm good. I just want to say two things quickly, Gerald.
Yes, sir.
I think Saba has said very clear
Yes.
that economy is bad and Kenyans are going without food.
Yes.
And he is looking forward to spend some money
to give Kenyans food
on social protection just for food.
Yeah.
And this, he has said clearly, not all Kenyans. He has said, 6,000 for a household, not individual.
Okay.
So it means a household, whether we are 4 or 5 people, and none of us is employed anywhere or as a way of earning,
Yes.
then we should not all 6 of us go hungry at night.
Okay.
We should have 6,000 just for food for that household.
All right.
So Baba is not talking about all Kenyans who do not have a job to be given 6,000. No.
Okay.
That is AMUNGA and probably yourself trying to craft a new
Who is that?
manifesto
How
for
do you
Kenya.
mean yourself? Where have you heard me saying that?
I'm saying people who are talking about that,
Yeah.
probably that is where you are getting 700 billion.
Oh, okay.
But for Baba, it is 2 million households,
Okay.
which every household may have so many people in it, but a household should have 6,000.
Okay.
If that household, maybe you are 4 or 5 and none of you is working or earning. I think that is clear for anyone to understand.
Okay, sir.
In some other country, like the lady has said, 40% of their budget are on social protection. Right now, we have social protection which is being run by the state. So if AMUNGA is thinking that it is handout, then why is Ruto still deputy president in a country where government is giving Wazir 2,000 or 3,000? Why is he even happy then?
Okay.
So I think that is one fact we need to get right.
Okay.
Baba said, while we are trying to bring the economy back to its feet, because Corona has hit the economy so hard, no Kenyans should go hungry. And so we will find 2 million households where no one is working. That is clear. Then the second thing, AMUNGA keeps saying he is a teacher of history, but he is a pathetic historian. He is pathetic. I mean, AMUNGA cannot understand
Yes.
that everybody needs to be judged by history at the end of the day. So if we look at the two people who are front runners, I could say, it is William and Baba. So the only way for Kenyans to judge who can do better for this country is to look at the time William has been very close to the top seat.
Okay.
How has Kenya been in terms of economy? And then we look at the time Raila has been very close to the top seat. How has Kenya as a country been in terms of economy? We can only say, let alone when Ruto was minister or anything, Kanu and all that, Wachana na hizo. The closest he has been is this time when he has been deputy president for 10 years.
All right.
How has the economy of Kenya been? How has everything happened?
Okay.
Then we can only look at Raila by the time he was prime minister. That is the closest he has been to the seat of power, as close to the presidency.
Okay.
What was the state of economy then?
Okay.
Then we make a judgment. It is so easy. It is so obvious.
Okay.
You can just go back to the books and see what was the economy then and what has the economy in this period the other guy has been closest to the power.
Okay.
So about earthquake,
Yeah.
we can only ask when the guy has been closest is when he was Minister for Finance. What was the state of economy?
Okay.
What history do we get from there? That is simple. Amunga doesn't have to worry about history. I mean, people who worry so much about history are people who really don't have any history.
All right.
I mean, Musalia, what has he sacrificed for this country? One thing Amunga can't tell me which Musalia has sacrificed for this. At least he can say the Raila has distorted history. It's okay. If you take it like that, we can agree. If he has distorted history, then at least we also have history that favors him. Then tell us history that Musalia has not distorted, or a distorted history for Musalia that still favors him, and people can say, for this, for sure, the son of Mululu sacrificed.
I'll respond.
Thank you so much. Asante sana, thank you so much.
I'll respond, my brother.
Bunge la Mwananchi. Bunge la Mwananchi, jambo.
Good morning.
Good morning to you. How are you, sir? Farid, mambo pole, naona nimekuweka kwa laini sana. Pole.
Nimekutafuta sana lakini na shida naelewa iko busy leo.
Leta habari.
Sawa, salamia Wanja na Amunga.
Mzuri.
Amunga.
Mrembe papa.
Mrembe mno.
Uko lovely sana exam khana huyo ikati.
Oriomno. Asante wewe.
Sasa, my attention has been drawn to this thing ya 6,000 ya kupeanwa.
Your attention has been drawn. Okay.
That is a scam of the year. Kulikuwa na ngine kuitwa kazi kwa vijana. It never happened under baba. Kulikuwa na nyumba zilikuwa zinajengwa Kibira. What happened? Ilipewa mabwenyenye, and who in this Kenya?
Okay.
And it was meant for the poor people. Wanja is claiming that 6,000 is better than a wheelbarrow. A wheelbarrow is our simple. Ni kama machungwa kwao. Hatujasema wao wapeana machungwa. Wheelbarrow ni alama ya chama yetu. They are giving out 6,000 for the elderly, for the people, the needy people in the society. As we want to empower people. We want to get people into their working capacity.
Okay.
My grandfather is 80-something years old, but he farms. If you can lower the fertilizer cost from 6,000 it is now to 2,000, 1,000, that old man will have his money. Why should you give him 6,000? Yet his capacity can make more than 500,000 at the end of the year. 6,000 times 12 is not even close to 100,000. If he can go to farm, get his inputs at an easier cost, get a ready market for his produce, he is way off the market of begging 6,000 monthly. There is this 2,000 that the elderly are being given every month. They go queue there the whole day. There is no money. They're being told you come next week. What about the 6,000? If 2,000 is not enough to be given to the old people and the needy in the society, where will the 6,000 come from? If you calculate an average, it will be close to 800 billion a year. That will be close to a quarter of our budget, current budget. Where will the money come to add on that? If you can empower these people, give them money, reduce the cost of production of farm produce for the farmers, make businesses easy for the people who do businesses. Our Kikuyu friends want businesses to be so easy. You don't have to handle people or harass people to pay taxes. You see, Keroche is a manufacturing company of alcohol by a Kenyan. It is a Kenyan brand. Why are we harassing them? If you want Kenya to grow, let us increase the market for our own locally produced goods. If Rivertech can produce good cotton, why should we import? If our farmers can give us good maize, we don't have even to go to Mexico to import maize. If the maize can be produced and we have ready market at our cereals board that can be taken to Turkanans or whether the other places that cannot produce maize at a lower cost, it is going to help the Kenyans. Bread is now at around 55 shillings. If you are given 6,000, Gerald, you cannot use that money for a whole week. If you have a family, maybe you have a patient who needs drugs in that family, you have a student who's going to school, you have the need now of the family. The 6,000 is just but a drop of an ink in an ocean. Let ODM and the Azimio people get agendas for their campaign. Let us not choose mythical and tourist sentiments on Madoadoa, saying that he is encouraging violence. If we say violence, Raila Amolo Odinga is the one who his remarks incite violence. If you can call somebody Mwizi today, how do his people feel? The other day they were with Mudavadi, he was as clean as cotton. Today Mudavadi is a thief because he has joined William Ruto. Is William Ruto oil where you throw cotton, it turns black immediately? Wetangula was with Raila Odinga for the last 10 years. He has been as clean. There is nobody who has spoke about the Tokyo scandal. For the last 10 years. Why 1 week into William Ruto's campaign team or William Ruto's side, they are now trying to read corruption charges against him, or they are trying to intimidate him to look like a dirty guy? We have corruption across board. There is no one who is clean. Raila Odinga himself took the molasses plant. We have this gentleman from Katanga, Peter Kenneth. He robbed Kenya Re to its knees. And they're still in ODM, they're still in the Azimio Party. People are not talking about it. Why is this corruption a double standard thing? One-sided thing? Let us stand the point both ends. Let us see this end. If there are corruption this end, let us mention. If there are corruption this other end, let us mention. Wanja. Stop being economical with facts. Read your facts well. Read your numbers that you claim well. Stop reading them to favor your end. The other day, people were in Muranga. People walked out, a mass exodus, when Raila is talking mass exodus. Is that a president? If that is now his campaign team, what about when he's addressing the nation at the Uhuru Park or Kasaran during his swearing in? A whole lot walks out. Is that a president you want? Go restructure and get agendas for your president. Ruto is telling you we are going to a very good health system. If health will become free, secondary education become free, and the farm inputs or these other things are lowered, nobody will be begging for the 6,000. Nobody, I'll tell you for free. Otherwise, have a fantastic day.
Thank you so much, my brother. Asante sana Farid Faraji. Asante. Bunge la Wananchi baada kwa dakika 5 ambazo zinakuja. Bunge la Wananchi baada kwa unaona kuna masimu ambazo nimeweza kuzimiss, pole sana. Niko busy kila mara. Jamaa namba yake inaisha na 42. Tuone mwana jamaa namba yake inaisha na 08. Wala sana jamaa mwingine 42 pia 93. Kuona 93 15. Aya, bunge la Wananchi kwa nambari 07798010 au 07798010. Unaweza piga simu uweze kuchangia kwenye mjadala ya leo. 07798010 au 07798010. Sijui kama kuna comments pia ziko hapa. Lucy Mete, good morning, tuning in from Nairobi. Masi Omenge, good morning. Masi, good morning to my brother all the way from the US. Frederick Juma, good morning. Bitok Niko tuned in from Nairobi. Salimia Munga sana and the other panelists. Lobia Chiti, King of Samuda, good morning. JB, Kilifi County, logged in. Thank you, King of Samuda. Peter Munga is making my morning. Papa Francis is scared. The earthquake indeed is being felt. All right. Denon Joka, Peter Munga is talking the truth about the Azimio Alliance, which is alliance of political family, class dynasties, thieves, and those who want to continue with the old ways. Okay. And John Jagi Wanja, preach it. King of Samunda, they know. And these ninjas think we Kenyans don't know. They think we are fools. Samunda, how will the 6K be implemented? Where will the money come from? With the 6K, King of Samunda, it scared small children like Azimio, unshaken, propagating BBI, a document that was doomed from the start. Michael Kalibala, good morning, Gerald. I'm your number one fan from Uganda. I'm glad to see Dr. Ojwang back on set. Dr. Ojwang's joining us tomorrow. Thank you so much, the guys who are following out from Uganda as well. It's always a pleasure to have you, the Ugandans, and we're looking forward to bringing the conversations to Uganda. Denon Joka, King of Samunda, they are very right. Because the CK statement is about calling us Kenyans for. I wouldn't fall for that CK statement, I'm not a fool. The Buddhist ninja called Baba has a lot in the Eden. All right. Exactly, Amunga. We need proper jobs. Yes, Amunga, the Azimio is a cover-up initiative, and the big fishers have come out openly to show us whom would partner up to keep their misdoing in the closet. The non-joker, the Azimio Alliance is an alliance of thieves and political thieves, where you have stated facts like they stole KEMSA COVID funds, the BBI and used funds which were stolen, Kazi kwa vijana and molasses. Jeremiah Kioni is not a friend of the youth. Njoga Wanja, please say that there is a voter apathy among the current young Kenyans because they don't have optimism to vote, because those who will vote will be between 2001 and 2010. As a country, we need to speak the truth. Raila Edis misfortunes was stolen in 2007. Faranga happened as well. Wanja, even Nyandarua Governor Francis Kimemi has said about Madoadoa by saying to eliminate Madoadoa in Jubilee, and there's a video showing that. Okay, only focusing on Madoadoa term gets us back to the zero as a country. The sayers of these triggering comments apologize. All right. Good morning.
Morning, Gerald.
Yeah.
Farid Faraj is back.
Yeah.
I forgot something here.
All right.
Let Wanja tell us.
Okay.
What is this thing that they want from Raila that they are seeing it now that they have not seen in the last 30 years when Raila was a politician?
Okay.
If it is their own thing they are trying to protect, the Kenyatta family and the Mount Kenya Foundation, they are trying to protect their things that they have acquired illegally. Let them tell us, because you cannot see somebody being clean today after you've tarnished in them for the last 30 years. There's no day Raila has been good to you people for the last 30 years. What are you seeing it when is this old? Do you think Raila will be in his mind when he's governing now, as compared when he was like in 2013 or in 2007? If it is their own selfish interest, let us know as soon as we can, so that we can be prepared that they are only protecting Raila for their own interest. There is no interest of Kenyans, because people who is funding his campaign, they are the Mount Kenya Foundation and the people who are well off from the Kikuyu community.
Okay.
And the only thing they want that is to protect their own acquired reach, that they don't want it to be disturbed by any other president. So they want a president who is going to be a puppet, who will be being told left, they turn left to the maximum point they can. If it is right, they do the same.
Okay.
So far.
Asante kaka. Morris said, I agree with one caller. We need more horses in the race. We are here. We will change this country. Kenya yetu siasa. Vie and vote. I think let's have more people that would want to run it for office so that we can have more options. King of Samara Odera, we don't do it here. Stop mediocre thinking. I don't know. There's some people here just crazy. Good morning. Hello?
This is Cosmas.
Good morning to you, Cosmas. How are you?
Yeah, fine.
Niambie.
My question was the WANJA. Swali langu tu ni rahisi tu, kwa sababu yeye amekuwa tu akitoa points ambazo nani na Kenya wanataka.
Ati?
Hata haziambatani na Wakenya Kenya wanataka hapa humu nchini. Tuanzie na kitu moja. Hii anasema social protection. Kwanza saa hii wazee ni wote wenye wanapata hiyo 2000. Hiyo inapeana kwa kama wewe uko na mtu sini ama mtu anajulikana pale. Na hiyo ni kitu I have been following from even my region. Even to get that 2000 is so very tough.
Okay.
And my question also to Wanja, let's ask them. Ni position yao gani wakati wa hii COVID-19? Ulisikia Raila kona msimamo gani? Bwana hakupush saa hii hiyo pesa waseme nani waliiba. Second, I would like to ask, hiyo mali wanasema Turkana. Mbona waongelelei kitu kama oil? Hiyo nini hiyo mafuta inachimba pale. Mbona haiwezi tumiwa kufadi hiyo kitu kama zile nili vitu za maana kama water. Security. Hiyo pesa yenye inauza mafuta mbona isipadi huko? Na mali nyingine kama huko Rift Valley. Kitu kingine even kitu kingine out of points.
Okay.
Hello?
Nakusikia Radi. Endelea.
Ni kitu kama hii yenye anashinda hapa akisema ati Jeremia Kioni. Hata saa hii ukienda from the clip from all the days.
Okay.
Hata unaweza sikia hiyo Kioni venye alikuwa anaongelea Raila. There is no way you can be a good person yesterday and today you become yesterday might a bad person and today you turn to be a good person.
All right, asante. Who am I speaking to again?
It's Cosmas
kutoka Makueni. Asante sana. Cosmas Mutua.
Yeah.
Asante sana Cosmas. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning. It's a pleasure to have you.
Yeah, muambia hiyo mambo ya nini vitu zile za national resources kwanza watuambie itakuwa vipi.
Haya, wamesikia. Amesikia. Haya, tumefunga bunge. Haya, wasikia mambo ya ngwana wamesemaje? Nafasi yako ndaanza nawe Wanja.
Okay, right.
I hope you've been taking notes.
Yeah, I've been taking notes. First, appreciate followers wako when you are made to engage. Really, we learn. I'll just start from the point where Amunga talked about debt. Deni. Lakini from what I know is that hakuna deni sio kitu mbaya. Ukiona watu wanabebanga mahindi huko Eldoret ama wanaenda na malori kubwa kubwa, huyo mtu kimchunguza sana ako na loan. So in any country deni sio mbaya. Deni inakuanga mbaya when now there are issues around maybe vile inatumiwa, was it well through to the end. So even countries like Japan, even countries that are even in the West, that's why unapatanga sometimes hata wanauza bonds. Deni is not a bad thing. Issue 2, vile nimesikia some of the followers wakiengage discussion, some people think that okay, Gerald saizi kwa budget line yako ikionyeshana ati 100 million itakuwa inaenda kwa this project. There is no place that you have 1 million waiting for it to be taken to be used. To budget for money is the intention to use. It's like saying this is like to budget. See, that's why we collect taxes.
Yeah.
We collect taxes to say that this amount will go to the teachers. So inamaanisha for the next revenue collection we shall allocate to this and that. So some people are asking, how will the 6,000 be implemented? How will the 6,000 happen? Like in any other project, it all starts with an idea. This is what I want to do. We also know that for anything to work in government, it has something to do with policy and it has something to do with a budget. Those are the two things. Show me it in the policy. And that's why we have manifestos. Why are people so skeptical? Everybody has a manifesto. Even the MCAs who are vying, they are telling us what they'll be able to do. You can't tell them, draw for me what you'll be able to do. That's what they intend to do when they come to power, when they have the resources, when they have the name, when they have the access. So the people asking how the 6,000 will be implemented, it will be implemented the same way other projects are implemented. It's an idea, it's put in the policy, it's budgeted for. There's something that someone has asked, so where will the money come from? We can diversify sources of income. Even a person who is earning 100,000 shillings in Kenya now, they are always hoping that next time their source of income will increase. About the two horses, really, the two horses is not a creation of the politicians. It's the creation of the Kenyans. It is the Kenyans who get animated and who get very interested in two candidates. It's the Kenyans who often times actually pitch two people against each other. So the question is that someone of the callers have described them as dragons. The two horses or the two dragons. Are they a creation of the politician? Because as a politician, it is in my best interest to package myself as best and as sellable as possible. So about the two horses, really, it's not the fault of one horse to be popular than the other. It is up to the third horse or the fourth horse to make himself more popular until he or she is considered to be a formidable force. Certainly, there's someone who has talked about voter apathy amongst the young people. Sadly, the numbers of IBC are also reflecting the same. I saw one of the media reports, I think 1-2 weeks ago, where they were talking about low turnout of potential voters. And I think understandably so, some young people have felt disenfranchised and so, but someone would ask, is it better when you have the vote before the books are closed and then now the people to convince you, other than you be closed when the books are being closed, I think in April, and then you are left behind? So this is just an appeal to the young people and everybody without a vote to know that their vote really counts, and if you don't vote the leader that you love, will not really come to power. Most importantly, like in any other election, peace remains very important because previous elections have been marred by violence. There's no small violence or big violence. So just really to say that it is good to align yourself to the candidate who is preaching peace, umoja, tusalimiane, hakuna vita, other than the candidate whose team is talking about siasa sio kanisa, tutaonana, tutaoneshana vumbi. So we want a candidate who is warm, in whose hands, the candidate whose hands we are safe in. Last but not least, it has really surprised me, Bitok, that you've had around 12 callers and none of them were women. Because this election also, I remember Mutahibunyi talking about the women vote.
Yes.
And the person with a woman candidate will also be...
And I'll say that anyone who gives a woman as a running mate, is gone with it.
Yeah, and some people have been speaking about the same. Considering that I've had a lot of voters and I've had a lot of... These are very intense discussion about the nation. I was just curious... What happens? Is it that women are not interested?
Women don't really participate much in politics.
So that for me has really gotten me really reflecting on how now we can also package our messaging, including the voter messaging, the political participation messaging, in such a way that it will reach women. Because for the last 12 calls, I didn't hear one of them to be a woman. But as the numbers are showing, women are almost the same in terms of numbers together with the men. And therefore, we still need their vote. So,
sure.
Yeah.
Haya, Amunga Kanyagalaganga.
Yes, it's been great listening to the viewers and also to Wanja. It's so nice. There's something that came out. I don't know if it came from Wanja or from one of the callers about the youth and whom they want to identify with and what they need to do. What is clear, Wanja, is this. The youth seem to be resonating very well. I've done some research personally. They really seem to be resonating very well with the hustler narrative. We can't lie about it.
Okay.
The history that we keep reading and the history that the other guy of Azimio keeps pushing, or history of 1965, 1951, 1922, that history doesn't resonate very well with young people like Wanja. That's why you saw Wanja struggling with it, because the truth of the matter is that young people wanataka vitu iko sahi modern, hatupangwingwi sijui nini. Hiyo ndio vitu vijana wanataka kusikia. Vijana wanataka kusikia sahi una nini ya kutuletea sahi. Na vile mimi na feel the young people, they seem to resonate very well with what the hustler or the Kenya Kwanza team is doing. I was in Bungoma for the rally that was there with the Kenya Kwanza team. And I want to tell you, the streets of Bungoma were full of young people. Yeah. The young people are coming out to listen to the hustler and to the Kenya Kwanza team. And the question that Baba should be asking himself and his strategists is, what is it that this hustler nation is doing that is attracting the youth so much? The youth are attracted and they are very happy with it. And you see them, even the way they will dance, they will present themselves, they'll do their things. They are happy. The musicians, they are tricking there. We saw Jaguar. It's a young man. He's moving towards there. And I tend to think it's because the youth are discovering this thing we've been talking about.
Yes.
They want a person who can work on the economy. It's not about the handout. They want somebody who can talk about the economy. How to bring this economy back to what it was. And I think the person who's talking about it is those people in Kenya Kwanza Alliance. I want to also say something about, I've had a comment somewhere that what does ANC bring to UDA? UDA is already there. I heard somebody even say, William Ruto is obviously going to the end. He has invested a lot. He has done so much. He'll just have to vie. Ruto himself has put it very clearly. They are coming together with Mudavadi. It was not about who becomes president, who doesn't become president. In fact, he even said the other day that even the issue of running mate is not the main agenda for him. The main agenda is now to get the ideas of how to turn this country round. Kenyans, it's not about who becomes president. There is only one person who has tried to become president 5-6 times now. that person is the one maybe who's very keen about becoming president. Some of us still have time. We have age. We still have time on our side. Sisi sio kwamba tuko na risasi moja, sio kwamba tuko na bullets sijui moja. We have bullets. Mtu kama Ruto akona marisasi, akona bazooka, akona nini. He can fire any time of the year or in the coming 20-30 years. He's not in a hurry. So let nobody confuse Kenyans that Ruto or Mudavadi are in a hurry that they must become presidents of this country. We are not. They are not. I've sat with them in Bungoma. These guys are just thinking about a formula that can turn this country round. And I want to be taken very clearly on that. And I was saying that when you say that ANC inaleta nini kwa UDA ama kwa Hasla, na Jubilee inaleta nini kwa Azimio? Jubilee died. If there is a shell of a party that had over 180 elected members, had people like Wanja, had people like me, had people like Bitok, Jubilee was a party and a half. It had the hustler. It had people. Today, Jubilee, even I can't count a member. I don't even seem to know who is the current chairman. Is there even one? Have they even had an NDC? At least ANC had an earthquake. We can talk about ANC. ANC is bringing earthquake to the hustler. But Jubilee is bringing zero, completely zero to Azimio, to ODM. So what we are saying is that hiyo matusi yao ndogo ndogo, hiyo tumezoea. We are saying as the Kenya Kwanza Alliance, we are moving forward. We are thinking about changing the economy of this country. And I'm happy most of the viewers and the callers, and I'm trying to read some comments here, many of them are sounding annoyed with the economy. They want a change. Wanja will have to change this country, and it's about people, young people like you and I. And I think I like something that Bitok has brought about today, and that's what I really wanted to end with. Hiyo mambo ya sisi kuchange with direction, mtu ametuita chameleon.
Nageuka sana.
We will not want to change. We will want to stick with the ideas. And I think the best way to help us as analysts is not to go with the politician. It is to have the stand.
With the issues. Go with the issues.
The issues. The issues are the most important thing here.
They never change.
Those ones don't change. And Bitok, you'll bear me right. I've been talking about the economy. That is what Musalia talks about. That's what
now you've gone back again to
Bottoms Up talks about. Economy.
Dear tackle of the day.
just to sort of conclude, you know, Amunga is talking about how they mobilized in Bungoma and how the whole town was painted yellow and orange, yellow and green, sorry. But having been in the political space for a while, I know that the same people who are wearing orange last Sunday are the ones who will wear yellow this Sunday. So sometimes the turnout is not necessarily an indicator of popularity. It's just an indicator of the mobilization and the tea that they were bought for they are in most of the time. So sometimes these lorries can be misleading. Someone talked about a mass walkout in Kasarani and in Muranga.
Muranga, that one I saw even. The
mass walkout for... We also know that in political theatrics, some people can even organize it for the sake of taking videos. They were very quick to note that. So those are just things that are generally expected. But also just to conclude and say that this Kenya Kwanza phrase that they unleashed, wali zindua, you know, they are very good at kuzindua vitu. Wali zindua last week, the phrase is very new. They really stole it. This phrase, Kenya Kwanza, as far as we know, it was a phrase that was used by JB Moturi for a while. And then they overtook it. Sasa imekuwa yao. Tuliwacha wakitwa tangatanga. Now they're even stealing catch phrases na nini na inaitwaje he word slogans. Sasa wameibai atujui what next. But we can only say that ni competition. We are telling them to stop being so obsessed with our way of doing things with the Azimio ways. Have you ever seen a person? It's like when you're hitting on a girl. You tell me as Gerald, this is what I can be able to do for you. But now the people from Kenya Kwanza are talking about the other guy. It's like telling the girl, you know Njoroge is very bad. You know Njoroge is this. Without telling them about how bad Njoroge is. Tell them, me as Gerald, I can be able to do this for you. So they are luckily they are also popularizing us in that way. So all publicity is good publicity.
Although what I just not said is that it's the same way that as you guys are calling Musalia Mudavadi a thief, calling him you stole Makaburi. Anyway, that's politics. But again,
tackle of the day.
Yeah, that's normal. The tackle, dear Kenyans, it is that year again of election. That's normally a very serious year. That's the year that our economy goes even further down. That's the year somebody will lose an election. And the person I know will lose. That person I know will either want to swear himself in. That person will want to hire a few young people like WANJA here and there. They will make noise. They'll sing on the streets. They will throw a few stones here and there. We know that person. I know the person personally. I want to tell Kenyans that take it in your stride. Now we are used to it. It is almost the 5th time we are going through this cycle of somebody losing and doing this kind of shenanigans to us. Beware that it will happen again. And as it comes to happen, prepare for yourself. Work hard in your farms, in your office. Know that when it comes to near August, somebody will be knowing that they are losing and they will cause us problems. We had hoped that Uhuru Kenyatta, the president, will give us a safe transition. Okay. We had hoped it will be like the one, what is his name? Our friend Mandela did. We thought it would be a Mandela moment. But from how we are seeing, this is an open state project that is being proposed. And it will flop, as all other projects we have seen flopping. BBI flopped, I don't know, handshake flopped, I don't know, what. Those things that have come, Big Four agenda flopped. So we know this other project will again flop. As it flops, Kenyans, we were hoping that Uhuru Kenyatta will ensure we are at peace. But the way it's going, the way we are seeing Mastusi imeanza tena, let us prepare for hard times. But you as a Kenyan, a good Kenyan, a civic Kenyan, chukua kura yako kama hujachukua kura, kaa pale, weka kura yako vizuri, wekea Kenya kwanza. Vote for us, we will win. Once we win, we know what to do from there. We will know how to take control and ensure that we will not get into any handshake with anybody after August 9th. We will not shake hands with any person. We will not spare anyone who will want to do to practice criminal justice of swearing himself in. That will be dealt with that time. This time as Kenyans, this will be a serious country of rule of the law, a good economy. Politics of conmen will end on August 8th.
All right. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for coming this morning. It's been a pleasure having you. And thanks to every tackler who has joined us as well, all the way from YouTube and Facebook as well. We appreciate your comments. The callers who have participated today in Bungala Mwenyenche, it's always a pleasure to have you and to hear your contribution towards the building of your nation. For those who we are not able to take their calls, we apologize. We'll pick again tomorrow on Siasa Wednesday as we engage again on the issues that are happening in this country. It's a season again. I want to tell you that you can make all the noise, but if you don't register as a voter, then you are useless. Wewe ni bure kabisa, mafia kuku. So is that an opportunity for you to take your vote? Ensure that you take your vote. This is the last exercise that IBC is running. A mass voter registration that IBC is running is ending on 6th.
Yeah, the ECR electronic voter is ending on the February the 6th. Okay. But we are meant to understand that even after the 6th, thereafter someone can walk into the IBC offices near them. But we also know that after a few months, I don't know the exact date, the books are closed. So that as we gear towards the election, so the earlier the better, just to urge the young people, the women, the men, to at least practice their civic duties by having the vote in their hands.
Right, so make sure that if you don't have a vote, please make sure that you have a vote. Otherwise, you can never actually change the direction of this country. You'll just be making noise, and someone else will make the decision for you. So make sure that you have the decision in your hands, and the decision is your vote. Usingoje ifungwe. You Kenyans, you love last minute. Usingoje ifungwe. Young people, please. I know we've all almost lost hope in the way things are run in this country. People are feeling that maybe things could be done better, in a better way. Apathy is there, but I can tell you that however bad you feel, you cannot change anything if you don't have a vote in your hands. If you have a problem with the way the country is run, if you have a problem with the way your resources are handled, then the only way you can make that change is to vote. So please, I'm encouraging every young person out there who has not taken a vote, please go out there and register as a voter, so that even we're having these conversations, we're having a conversation with people who have the capacity and the ability to implement the change that they want to see in their societies. Otherwise, mambo itakuwa ngumu sana. And again, it's interesting. the youth and women make up the biggest chunk of the voting bloc.
Certainly.
And interestingly, again, they never change anything. They never vote for the people that they say. They say if they want to see more young people in power, they don't vote for those young people. Women as well, they say they want to see more people, women in power, they don't vote for their women, fellow women.
Or even participating in discourses like these.
They don't participate in conversations. So please, take a vote and ensure that you are part of these conversations that ensure that you can at least contribute to the direction that the country takes. And to remind you again that Rexer Roofing is ensuring that you have the best roof. And this is the best season. Now it's raining. Ensure that you can put, you can crown your house with the best roof that you can have. Quality roofing shingles, stone-coated tiles, all from Rexer Roofing. And also, if you're doing a flat roof, you can get the APP waterproofing membrane and also the waterproofing liquids from Rexer Roofing. Visit www.rexerroofing.com to ensure you can get an array of choices that you can pick from there and ensure that your roof looks as beautiful as you've ever imagined. Until tomorrow, see you again. This is Setakol and it ends now. Bye-bye.